You must promise not to hang me. I promise to keep you alive.
She was a servant, black, unseen, and voiceless in a house that wasn't hers. But in her mistress, Frannie found something no one expected. Love. Real. Raw and forbidden. For the first time, she felt seen. Alive. Like happiness might actually belong to her. But love like theirs was dangerous. And when they were caught, everything changed. If you haven't seen part 1 of Frannie Langton's love story, I recommend watching it first so you can truly feel the weight of what comes next. This is the aftermath. After they were caught by Hephzibah, everything fell apart. Shocked and disgusted, she ran straight to George Benham.
Meg has been carrying on with the girl right under your nose.
George didn't even question it. He was furious. Furious at the betrayal, at the scandal, at Frannie.
I took you in. I gave you sanctuary. And you seek to repay me by taking what is mine.
The idea of his wife with a black servant was more than he could bear. That same night, he had her sent away. After she was thrown out, the weight of everything crashed down on her. She remembered her childhood, how she was torn from her mother, forced into a life where she had no say, no freedom. All her life, people decided who she was, where she belonged. And just when she thought she finally had something of her own, her love for her mistress, it was ripped away too. Marguerite didn't know what had happened. She just knew she needed to see Frannie.
I have to speak to you. She's been turned out already. She'll be long gone.
She ran out, desperate to stop her, to say something. But her husband blocked her path, forbidding her from going after the woman she loved. 2 women, torn apart by the world around them. Frannie found a place to stay, a friend who took her in, but the void in her heart only grew. She couldn't escape the pain, couldn't escape the emptiness inside. Slowly, she was breaking and no one could stop it. Then one day, a message came. Marguerite was sick.
I miss you. Please come back to me, Francis.
Without hesitation, Frannie packed her things. She didn't care about the past or the risk. All that mattered was getting back to her. But when Frannie arrived, she wasn't prepared for what waited for her.
Francis, I don't know how to tell you. What's wrong?
Marguerite was pregnant. Frannie couldn't breathe. It wasn't just shock, it was heartbreak all over again.
You're asking what?
You'll take the child and raise it.
George wanted to force the child on Frannie because Marguerite had been with a black man. But fate had other plans. Marguerite lost the baby, and grief swallowed them both. Still, Frannie stayed.
Come with me, please. No, Francis.
They both knew George would never allow it. Then Marguerite turned and left angry, hurt, leaving Frannie behind with nothing but silence and a breaking heart. And just like that, everything began to fall apart. Marguerite was getting worse. Desperate, she went to George, begging him to take her to the hospital. But instead of help, he gave her cruelty. He dragged up her past, her mother, her pain, everything she'd fought to survive. And in that moment, blinded by rage...
You're filthy, you're disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself.
And before she knew it, George Benham was bleeding on the floor. When the weight of what she'd done sank in, Frannie didn't run. She simply walked back to the only person she ever loved and laid beside her. By morning, everything was a blur. The cops arrived and Frannie was hit with the shock of her life. Marguerite was dead, stabbed, but Frannie knew she didn't do it. She could never hurt the woman she loved. Still, they dragged her away. People stood watching, eyes filled with judgment. To them, she was just a black servant who dared to love above her place. To them, she was already guilty. A monster, a murderer. Even when a lawyer was assigned to her, It felt hopeless. But Frannie, she wasn't ready to be silenced. They had taken everything from her. So with nothing left to lose, she picked up her pen. And in the quiet of her cell, she poured her soul into every word. All of it. This is Frannie Langton's story. So she began, right from the beginning. From the days when she was just a child with her mother, before she was taken in by Langton, the man who was not only her master, but her father. The man who violated her mother and used Frannie as a subject for cruel experiments because she was different. She told it all. The pain, the loneliness, the moment she found love in her mistress, and how she lost it. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the blood. She laid everything bare. Then came the trial. A courtroom filled with people who'd already made up their minds.
They looked at me and saw only anger.
They twisted her love into something shameful, her pain into motive.
I loved her. If I am guilty of anything, I am guilty of that.
They didn't see a woman. They saw a servant, a scandal, a story too wild to believe. Every word she spoke weighed against the color of her skin.
My mother. He murdered her.
This wasn't just a trial. It was a fight for the truth and the life she never got to choose.
I didn't know when I needed to know.
And so, the verdict came, guilty. Frannie Langton, sentenced to death.
Place of execution, where you shall be hanged from the neck until you are dead.
Thanks for watching.